Hi, I'm the Moss Man, and in today's video we'll be discussing various methods of propagation. Hopefully I'll be able to do a few of them with this aloe plant that's severely overgrown, and so I can hopefully show you a few different ways of propagating plants. With this aloe plant that my grandmother has given to me. So we're going to take a look at this and see what ways to best deal with this and to propagate, in this case, aloe. So first thing I'm going to do is take these scissors here, and I've cleaned them, sanitized them, sort of, and I'm actually going to quickly remove all this junk first. Okay, I think I've decided that I'm gonna get rid of all the dead stuff after I separate this thing. First thing you'll notice about this is this huge fella just leaning off the side here. So, as crude as it may seem, I'm just gonna take these scissors here, over here. Gonna pull it back a little bit, and then just chop it off. So now let's focus on this piece here. Let's take off a bunch of this here. What we want to do is leave a section of the stem, kind of, available to begin growing roots off of. Now we've got this here stem, which is pretty calloused actually, which is important for our next step. Because of the way that this is, I think it's actually best if we start up a little bit higher in the plant and expose some stem. So this is some nice aloe. Cut off some pieces there, and we want a good few inches. This is a pretty hefty chunk, so now we've got a pile of stuff over here, but we got, most importantly, this piece here, which is, think about it, probably gonna go into the soil like this, which is pretty off-centered, but possibly like this. For now, the next step is we have to wait a few weeks for this here and these bits over here to kind of dry up, so they're not exposed when we stick them straight into the soil and they don't end up rotting. I'm gonna now cut up the rest of my pieces, and I'll get back to you in a couple weeks. And here, just before we go on a break for a few weeks, I'm quickly going to pull out any of the plants, or a couple of the plants, and root divide it. This is another way that you can do propagation with aloe, and root division is a popular way to do propagation with a lot of different plants. Yeah, okay, I went a little overboard here, but what I did find was there were some bits that were just sitting freely in the pot, like not even in the dirt, just sitting there. So I'm taking those ones out, and I'll be sticking those ones straight into soil the way they are. And finally, of course, we need to make that soil. So Okay, so we need a little bit of water, and this water is to dampen the sphagnum moss that we'll be using. So just mix the sphagnum moss in. And on top of sphagnum moss, we're going to be adding a little bit of gravel. Both the sphagnum moss and the gravel are for better drainage, and well, the sphagnum moss a little bit for water retention. Finally, we have this peat moss soil mix. I think this one right here is just my usual Pro Mix tropical mix that I'm mixing in here. Throw it in a 10 centimeter pot or a 4-inch pot, and then with the ones that have roots, we can just stick them straight in and they're ready to go. There's not much more to it with this kind of like root division style. Okay, so it's a few weeks later now, and I don't know how many weeks later. I wasn't really paying attention, but I'm going to use the same soil mixture as before, and we're going to deal with all of this aloe here. So these are all cuttings that I took, and as you may or may not be able to see, all the pieces I've cut off have dried up, so I'm just gonna do that. The plant here is calloused. All this stuff I cut off here is calloused. And I've got a few, all of these, like this one's even growing roots. All of these that I've chopped up. Gonna throw in the pots that I have here. But to do that, I'm gonna need to make some soil. Okay, and one last thing I'd like to mention before we get this time lapse fully rolling is on some of these I'm going to use this little root stimulant here, which I'll use for ones like this that don't have roots growing already. But for now I'm just going to try some with and without, and either should be fine. So those are some of the ways that you could go about propagating aloe. and these techniques can be applied to various other plants, but of course it does vary on a plant-to-plant basis. Propagation is its own complicated thing, and so hopefully what I provided in this video is helpful for people trying to propagate aloe, and I will be doing updates on the plants so you can see how quickly the roots start to develop and what kind of growth we're getting. But for now, that's all. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'd like to thank Dylan and Elijah for providing all the music in this video. And if you'd like to submit a dance for me to dance to at the end of the video, you can do that at my Instagram here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.